why do people invest in everything but themselves? You know, and I can't be a hypocrite. We put money in the shoes, cars. We put money in the clothes, even, you know, investments. Like we put money in the stock market. We put money in the cryptocurrency. But for some reason, we like to neglect our own growth. For some reason, we don't like to invest in ourselves and invest in our skills and invest into what it's going to take to be great, what it's going to take to become that future version of ourselves. And that's the whole topic of today's video. It's going to be, you know, we just going to talk about betting on yourself. You know, I made a lot of sports bets in my day. You know what I'm saying? I made a lot of investments in the stock market. You know what I'm saying? I've definitely, you know, kind of dabbled in the cryptocurrency. But this summer specifically, I really want to push that investment into yourself for the long term and the short term. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, we invest into these tangible things like money that can be taken away in a blink of an eye. But you can't take away knowledge. You can't take away your mindset. You can't take away your health. You can't take away your attitude, your work ethic. You know what I'm saying? Nobody can steal these things from you. Nobody can steal discipline from you. That's set in stone in who you are, and it all contributes to the person you're trying to be. I think of it as a mindset kind of trap that we gotten sunken into. You know what I'm saying? We chase things, and maybe it's ego. We like to flex things now. We like to go get $200 shoes, but if you want, you could get 10 books you with $200. You know what I'm saying? And I think this whole idea of just being surrounded by instant gratification, it made us forget the power of real life investments. That self gratification, it delays those self investments. It delays that self improvement because you're chasing something quick, but not something that's long lasting. You know what I'm saying? And overall, the society that we live in, we prioritize the look, the glamour. You know what I mean? The shiny things. We put everybody likes looking at a rack of money or like a shiny car, you know what I'm saying? But we don't really value the skills, you know what I'm saying? And in the same way, I mean, if you look at $1,000 or a skill that can make you $1,000, which one is more valuable to you? But like I said, if you could grab that $1,000 right now, you feel me? That's that self gratification. And on the other side of that, if you have a skill that can make you $1,000, what are you gonna do to, instead of just having that one, you can, you know what I'm saying? So it's just a mindset of things. And I think it's all the way you look at it. I think it's all the way you visualize it. And it's all the way you approach it. If you look at, you know, these self-investments and really, you know, betting on yourself on a consistent basis, I believe the compound interest is going to be much greater. You know what I mean? I think self-investments pays compound interest. Just like if you put, you know, your money in the right stock, over time, it'll gradually, you know, kind of multiply. The same way is with your personal growth. But it only happens when you stay consistent. So for example, if you read 10 pages out of a book every day for 365 days, you'll probably get through about 12 books. You just spend 30 minutes in the gym, you're gonna live a healthier life. You're gonna have more energy. Think about it, like even if you just learn one skill every month, I mean, in 12 months, you're gonna have 12 new skills. You know what I'm saying? So it's the unseen rewards that go into those examples. You're building, you know, confidence, and you're building discipline, and you learn that discipline doesn't compound in the days. Discipline compounds in the months and the years. And that's when it really starts to have an effect on the outcome of the work you've been putting in. But even bigger than like just thinking about it from a monetary perspective, like self-investment pays back in self-respect, and confidence and energy. You feel more alive and you feel like the things that you're doing are working, and that's just going to help you continue to grow and continue to move forward. I think the great ones, the most successful, the individuals that we may look up to, I think they don't look for their return on their investment in the days. I don't think some of these people that I look up to even look for a return on their investment, but they're winners because they think long term. They think end goal, they think championship, they think 5-year goal, 15-year goal, 25-year goal. You know what I mean? And they everything in between is just a head down grind. Betting on yourself requires faith, and it requires you to believe in an invisible version of yourself that's already created, but you just have to, put the pieces together to get to that point. And, I think the more you invest in yourself, the clearer that version of yourself becomes, because you're realizing what your strengths and your weaknesses are, and you're realizing how you can use that to your advantage to continue to grow. It's a lot of barriers that stop us. Investing in yourself, like I said, it requires faith in something that you can't see, and also there's no real applause ever. You're gonna continue to work because somebody's always working and trying to get to the point where you're at, you know what I mean? And especially in the beginning, it's all self-motivation. It's all, don't fall into the trap of trying to always seek validation, because it's going to be times, where the dark clouds may come outside and it's just you, and you have to figure it out. So don't always do it for the applause or for the recognition. Do it because you love it. Do it because it's something you're passionate about. Do it because it's something that's beneficial for others, and it's not just self-centered. You feel me? But and ultimately, people gonna doubt you along the way. There's 1,000 people right now that believe you can't do something, and you can use it as fuel, or you can use it as something that weighs you down. Don't expect people to always support you or support your goals or support your path, because only you know what it takes to become the best version of you. If you flip the perspective, not betting on you is betting against yourself. You know what I'm saying? That every day you wake up and you choose not to invest in a skill or something that is going to help you grow, it's almost like you're betting on the opposite to happen, because you're not willing to take the chance to, spend time, spend money, spend, energy into becoming better. But on my board right now, I got it written. If you're going to talk about it, you got to be about it. So let's start today. Let's start right now. You know what I'm saying? Just every day, if you don't already have like time invested into going to the gym or working on a craft or working on a skill or something, outside of just your job, whatever that thing is that's going to help you kind of grow, make it a time investment thing that's daily, and be consistent. Every day read for 30 minutes. Every day go to the gym for an hour. Every day take a 30-minute walk. Kind of build these healthy habits, because that's what we're really trying to do, is develop these healthy habits that's gonna really be the strong foundation of why your dreams come true, on why everything that you want to become will happen, on why when times get difficult, you won't give up, you won't stop, you won't quit, and you'll grind it out. You know what I'm saying? So make these small investments now. Every day, 30 minutes read, you feel me? 60 minutes in the gym, 30-minute walk, 15 minutes spiritual, 30-minute meditation, whatever the case may be, and put it on your calendar and make it a daily appointment. The next thing I do is, spend money on it. You know what I'm saying? Money is a tool, freedom is the goal. So allocate a self-investment fund maybe. Every month I'm gonna invest $100 into my skill, into my craft. You know what I'm saying? Buy books, courses, mentorships, get trained, whatever it takes. If you can afford, getting a coffee every day, you can afford a $20 book. And knowledge is something that's always gonna evolve, and it's always gonna be something that's always innovating into something, you know what I'm saying, beyond our thinking capabilities. So it's limitless is what I'm saying. So you can always learn more. You can always try something new. That's one of the benefits of, you know what I'm saying, really being alive. And you know what I'm saying, ultimately the last thing is the energy investment. You know, remove energy drainers, you know what I'm saying, seek mentors, join community groups, hang around people that not gonna feel like they're draining you, you know what I mean? They feel like it feels like they're uplifting you, or it feels like, you know, it's a mutual benefit. You're learning, they're learning, y'all both growing, whatever the case may be. But just, you know, escape those traps of just bad habits of maybe being around people that, you know, don't uplift you, or just scrolling on your phone the first hour when you wake up. It's just remove things that drain your spirit, that drain your passion, that drain your drive. And you know what I'm saying, the person you want to become, they already exist, but you can't meet that person if you continue to do your old habits. So make these small changes now, and over time, like I said, they're gonna accumulate differently. So that's my challenge today, is just pick one thing. It don't even gotta be long, 10, 15 minutes, read a book, and do it tomorrow, and do it the next day. And don't stop. You know, habits develop not by the days, but by the months and by the years, and that's how they really become something strong. But yeah, man, we back on the grind. I got a whole new series coming out, and this is the start of video, Betting on Yourself. And we're gonna just talking about these daily healthy habits, you know, for the next few weeks. And we're gonna go from there. But if y'all like this type of content, make sure y'all hit the like button, subscribe if you're new, you know what I'm saying. Make sure y'all go check out the clothing brand, Lost Genius Society. The future is now. All y'all stay genius out there, and I'm gonna catch y'all on the next one. But hey, make them investments and really bet on yourself, because that future version of yourself is waiting on you to make it happen. Gang.